Hey everybody! Well, it's still January and I'm still busy as all get out, but you know what? I want a good meal and my family and I all just deserve it. We work hard, and so tonight I decided to make tequila, lime, and garlic tacos. And we're going to have Spanish rice with it. And this is the Spanish rice that I grew up making from the time I can remember, and it's probably different from most Spanish rice that you'll get. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to show y'all how I do it, and hopefully we'll all get something out of it. So let me show you what I do. Alright, so I have my shrimp. These are Zaycon shrimp and I love them. They're huge, they're peeled and headed and deveined, but I took the tails off also. So I have them in a Ziploc bag because I'm going to marinate them for just a little while I get the rice going. And I'm just going to put maybe a tablespoon and a half of olive oil. Just a pinch, or a little more than a pinch, of red pepper flakes. I'm going to put about a quarter teaspoon of chili powder. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of paprika. And I also want to add some lime, and this is fresh, and I'm just going to squeeze it right into the bag. And this is only going to sit maybe half an hour because I can do this while I am getting the rice cooking. But there's going to be so much flavor. Alright, so now I'm going to seal that bag up, and the best part, instead of a bowl, you just kind of squish it around. And let all those flavors start to meld with the shrimp. So I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm going to start my Spanish rice. Okay, now I'm going to start my Spanish rice. And the first thing you do, I'm going to heat the pan up. And it's already getting hot. I'm going to add, maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I don't want a lot, just pretty much enough to coat the bottom and to coat the rice. And it's already heating up, so I'm going to add my rice. And this is about 1.5 cups, but you can use however much you need. We never measured it. I did this for your benefit. So now I'm just going to stir this up, and if you've ever made rice-a-roni, you'll know what I'm doing. I'm going to just brown the grains of rice, and that makes all the difference in the world. So I'm going to let this brown, and then I'll bring you back to show you what that looks like. Alright, so it's just starting to brown, and I've got this, so it's just under medium, and I could even turn it down a little bit, but I'm kind of in a hurry. I want to eat well. So the key to this is to constantly stir it, keep that rice moving. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's just right now light tan, and I want to let it get just a little bit darker. But keep that moving as much as possible. What nice golden brown. And we're almost there, but it goes very fast, so don't let it go too far. And what this does, and I don't know the science behind it, I just know it works because I've done it all my life, is this, by browning this rice, for some reason it helps the rice absorb the water and become really nice and fluffy. And is this traditional Spanish rice for most people? Probably not. But this is the way my mother learned to make it from people in San Antonio, and this is the way we were taught to make it. You know what? We like it. So that's all that mattered to me. Alright, it's now just this light golden brown. And I could let it go a little bit further, but I think I'm going to go ahead and add in. I have a pint jar of my home canned tomatoes, and normally I use whole canned tomatoes. And all I want to do is just break them up a little. They don't need to be perfect. Sorry about my bad-tempered dogs, they're bored. Now I'm going to add about 2 cups of water. And I may have to add more as I cook it, but hopefully not. So I'm just going to add the water in. Now I'm going to add some granulated garlic. And this is all to taste. There are no measurements. Never work. I'm going to put in a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to put in some salt. Now I know most people think of Spanish rice as having all kinds of other things in it. But you know what? This is what I grew up with, and it's what we love. So, is it the same Spanish rice everybody else makes? No. But this is what I love. Alright, I'm going to cover this. I'm going to let it come up to a simmer, and then I'm going to turn it down for about 20 minutes. So now we'll start on the shrimp. Alright, I've got my rice on to cook. Now, because I don't keep it on hand, I have Thrive Life freeze-dried red bell peppers. Because again, we don't use a lot. So this way I have it whenever I want it, and it's not going to go to waste. I've also got some of their sliced onions, which I love just because they're easy and I don't have to slice up an onion. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to these and let them get refreshed. So I have those together. It doesn't matter to me because they're all going to cook together. So just going to put that in the bowl. And I'm kind of making up this recipe as I go along, so bear with me. Alright, so I have about 8 cloves of garlic chopped up. And this was a huge jalapeno, but I don't want that much because shrimp is not, you don't want to add too much. So about half of this big one. So now I'm going to just start adding the seasonings that I want to cook. And first of all, I'll get this out of my way. I have my fresh ground cumin seed, and I'm going to say maybe half a teaspoon. You don't want much. Again, you don't want to overwhelm this. I'm going to put maybe a teaspoon of the chili, of the paprika. And maybe, that's not even coming out. Maybe a half teaspoon of chili powder. And we do have this in the shrimp, so this is just going to build on the flavors. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. and a little bit of my pepper. And I may add just a small, very small pinch of the red pepper flakes. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be toasting these before I add the onions and red bell pepper and the shrimp, because I want that flavor to get that toasted yumminess along with the onion, red bell pepper, garlic, and jalapeno. So now I'm going to start cooking these up and I'll show you how that looks. Alright, so my Spanish rice is nearly done, and now I'm going to heat up the pan for the shrimp. And I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to add some butter. We're going to let that melt. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cook the shrimp. Not 100%, but close. We want them mostly done. And they've been marinating in this wonderful seasonings. So we're going to put those in there. And this is 1 pound, and these are large shrimp. I love using these shrimp. They have a lot of flavor, and they come out of Argentina, and I've bought them a few times, and they're always really good. I'm going to add that wonderful juice to add flavor. And I've got this just above medium. You don't want it too high. We just want to get these mostly cooked. Alright, I think these are as far as I want them to go. So I'm going to take them out and put them in a bowl. You never want to overcook shrimp because it gets rubbery. So I slightly undercook it because we're going to be adding it back. And it will finish cooking. So we're going to take all those out. And now I'm going to add those seasonings in. So this is the garlic, this is the jalapeno, and the spices. And we're just going to let this cook just for a second because it kind of toasts it. It gives it more depth. Now we're going to add the onion and red bell pepper. And anytime I use lemon and lime, I like to add zest because that's where so much of the flavor is in the oils. So I'm just going to add some of the zest. And then the juice. give that a good stir. And we're getting all those flavors from the shrimp and the marinade. And now we're going to add carefully, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 cup of tequila. I'm going to add just a little bit of freeze-dried cilantro because that's what I have. I don't have fresh. And we're going to add those shrimp back. And we're just going to give it a little stir, make sure it's all combined and they get coated with all that yummy flavors. And now I'm going to check on the rice and then we're going to make tacos. Alright, so now I'm going to heat up my tortillas. I have my comal or griddle. And I've got it warm, so I'm going to let these tortillas I don't want them hard, I just want them cooked and pliable. Alright, it's totally heated through, these are cooked, so I'm going to take that off. Turn that pan off because it's loud. So I'm just going to put some shrimp in there. I put some lettuce, some avocado. I'm going to get some salsa, so I'll show you what this looks like when it's all finished. Okay, and there is my Spanish rice. And this 1.5 cups of rice and 1 pint of tomatoes made this huge pan of Spanish rice. So we will have this for leftovers, which will get eaten because we all love it. Okay, so Spanish rice, I put a little of my home canned salsa on there. Okay, there it is, my shrimp tacos with garlic and lime and tequila, and my Spanish rice. I'm going to try the rice first. This is what I grew up with. It's not overly seasoned, it's just to accompany your food, and it's tomatoes and garlic and salt and pepper and rice, and it's just what I love. And I think I overfilled this taco. Oh, and that's so good, and it's so fresh tasting. Just perfect for what I wanted. So, thank you for watching, and we'll talk again soon.